Behind the Shades.
There's three types of men: boys, guys, and men. The guys are somewhere in the middle, and I won't take any time to describe it, but the men are different completely than the boys. And the boys, again, will ruin your life, where a man will try to, like add to your life, help you have it a better life, an easier life. That's men. So when I deal with boys, those are the guys when I say, you need to man the hell up. Dude, that's toxic. And I had one say to me, there's more to life than money, as he's literally walking around the neighborhood. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a job. Well, why don't you have a job? Well, I don't feel like it and get up in the morning early. I'm like, wow, right? When a man says, I don't feel like it, that is not a man. That's a boy. And they have all the reasons in the world why they can't work, or they don't want to work, or you can't move out, or whatever. Like, it's really hard out there. I mean, really? Do you think everybody else got it easy? They figured it out. So I say, grab your balls with one hand, the doorknob with the other, get the hell out there and fight for yourself, build something, right? Because this is how men become powerful and respectable. They step in life and they step into their fear. They go conquer something that's difficult. That's the point. If it was easy, we'd all be doing it. But these guys don't do it, right? Like I said, they stay passive and like teenagers. But real men go out in the world, they compete, conquer something, they fight for it. It's difficult. And that's how they build their character. That's how they build their self-confidence. That's how they build. They make a dent in the world. They're relevant. They're irrelevant. Boys are irrelevant. That's why they get no respect. So a man who does this, masculine, then not only gets self-respect, but commands respect for both men and women in the world. Like a man who manages life, gets his shit together and builds something that's difficult. People go, wow, good. Wow, you didn't, you know what I mean? You can respect that. Boys don't want to do any of that. So I'm like, you get to man up. Man the fuck up, right? Grab your balls and go. It's uncomfortable. That's the point. You don't learn anything when you're comfortable. So, I mean, at one point in my life, part of my personal development stuff, and I kind of put that together, that I don't learn anything when I'm comfortable. Ever. It's always stepping out of the box that I stretch and I go, I didn't know I could do that. Look at that. Things that scared me that would tackle on the other side was never as scary as the thought of it. Any one of them. And I go on the other side and go, wow, look at me. Like I worked that out. Look. Wow. Self-confidence, self-esteem, right? With self-respect. And so I made it a life, like a lifestyle for years. If there's something I didn't want to do, I went and did it. If something that scared me, I stepped right into it. If something I wanted to feel resistance again, I'd go right for it. And the bigger the thing, the more I was like, damn it, I got to go do it. And now,
I love that.
But that's how I did it, right? So today I'm just saying, like, I don't want to say that I'm all that, but like, you can't scare me. You can't rattle me. Like, and even when life happens, to throw me a curveball, I go, okay, bring it. I'll work it out. Because I always do. But that comes from battling for years. So, man, when I say man up, that's what I mean. Step into it. You're afraid? Go
Yeah.
for it. You're uncomfortable?
I,
That's right.
I
Go
love
for
the
it.
adversity because that's where I learned. Like when I was uncomfortable, when I was struggling, when I thought that I couldn't hit a lower point in my life, I learned so much about myself. And there's one thing that you mentioned that I really wanted to touch on because I've been preaching this. I'm probably going to preach until I pass away. Is that there's people, when I hear someone say, I feel this, I feel that, I always interject and ask them, okay, tell me what you think.
Right.
Tell me what you know. Because you're telling me from a place of emotions. Tell me what you think. I think I'm going to be great. I think I can get a job. I think I'm going to be successful. Your feelings are fine. Express it how you want to express it. But when you're, at least for me, when I'm having a conversation between men, it's a different conversation that I'll have versus when I have a conversation between myself and women.
Yep.
But I've noticed some men, they speak to me like I'm in a relationship with them, like I'm dating them. Like, oh, are you okay? How are you feeling today? Can I hold you? And so it's kind of, the dynamic is kind of strange, but I know for you, the scientific side, that side of it. So why do you think that shift is happening, especially in the men when it comes to their behavior when they step into the world?
Well, like I said, we keep them adolescents forever. They don't know who they are. They don't have any strength. They don't know how to step in. They're raised. Oof, there's another one that's going to trigger people. Sorry, just not my opinion, just factual. Is there are so many kids without fathers, men without fathers, and your father is supposed to be a role model, right? To teach you how to be a man, and that seed, right? There's a seed in us that has to be cultivated. A woman can't do this, not because they're stupid, because they can't. Like a woman cannot raise a son. A man needs to raise a son. Men need to mentor men into manhood. What happens then if you don't have a father and your mother becomes mama bear, so she becomes controlling and the man, but she's not a man. And women will raise their son to be sweet and sensitive and kind and talkative and vulnerable. And so these guys learn and emulate their mothers, and women run their lives through their feelings. Men roll their lives to their thinking, their logic. So these guys are trained by their mothers. There's no male role models to say, stop feeling that. It doesn't matter how you feel. It needs to get freaking done. I don't feel, who cares how you feel? Go, get to school, go, get on your bike and get this, right? So men teach men to really kind of step in where mothers keep them comfortable and so they emulate feelings, and they actually think that's the right way of operating. So when men operate from their feelings, they're weak, they're lame, and no one can respect them. And especially women, and women don't feel safe with those guys because he's weak. And first, the primary need of a woman with a man is, do I feel safe with him? Do I feel safe with him? Like emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, do I feel safe with this man? There's 4 layers of safety for women. It's like, it's not spoken, it's not a thought process, it's in your bones. If you don't feel safe, you can't respect him. If you can't respect him, you're gonna find somebody to respect. That'll be a man who handles his shit, handles his life, has some mojo, have some swag, has some money, he has some confidence, personality, all that crap, right? And that's what women find sexy, because the guy knows who he is and you feel safe with him. You can provide, protect, all that. So it's a cultural stuff, right? We men raised by their mothers are girls with penises, and they have a really hard time in life. It's not their fault, and that's fixable. That's part of the work that I do with them. Same with women who are too masculine. There's an issue, no daddy. If a little girl doesn't have a father to kind of like, father is safety over the household. Father is role model for his sons and safety for the ladies, for the women. That's why it's essential to have a father around. So when father isn't present, whether he's dead or he's divorced or he's an alcoholic, because bad daddy is as bad as no daddy, maybe even worse, more damaging. If the women don't feel safe, the little girl can't grow into a feminine. The mother has to become the man. So the mother becomes mama bear if he's weak or absent. Mama bear is not sweet. Mama bear is not lovely. Well, mama bear is not feminine. Mama bear is an animal. And she's actually, she'll kill you just to get in her vicinity, right? So she will raise the boys, actually castrate the boys, and will actually teach the girls, go girl, right? So you have to be, so the girls will role model after mama bear, which is masculine. It's a disaster. So it's not like, and I understand, like, no judgment, right? Single motherhood happens, but you understand the numbers are through the roof. 70% of Black kids are raised in single family home, 55 Latino, 25 white. 30 years ago, it was 20, 15, and 5. It's gone to the roof. And that explains men. That explains the boys who don't have role models and nobody is mentoring them into manhood. So that's cultural, right? It's when women get paid to divorce their husband and the government takes care of them, they remove the man. They think they're independent. Not really. They depend on the government now, which is paid by men.
What about Andre? What about the women who are out there who are saying that it's not my fault that the marriage ended? It's just he's a bum. He doesn't want to do anything. How about that argument, and how do you tackle that?
I get a lot of these, but again, if you're masculine, you will attract a bum. and a loser and a manipulator and a narcissist. He's just gone now, right? So okay, so again, we have to figure out what happened to you so that you're so masculine that that's your narrative. That's okay. That's not your fault, typically. And of course that happens. But if you have sons, especially, but even daughters, but sons primarily, understand that you can't make a man out of him as a woman. You can't. Man, these boys need men. So you surround them with men. They throw them in any kind of like sports or activities as a male mentor, a good man. You know what I mean? If you have brothers, bring the uncles around. If grandpa's available, have grandpa part of their lives. Like find systems when men can be around men in teams with mentorship. And it could be chess team. It doesn't have to be sports. Like my son is in sport. That's not about that. It's about being with men and being mentored and being guided, and so they could role model after what a man actually is and how we're logical and we're linear, and there's a flex in that as well. But you can't be living your life through your feelings and think you're going to go anywhere. You got to use your life with your logic and your planning and stepping in. And only men can teach you that. And men will also teach you also how to not be toxic, right? Like only good man can raise good man. Not women can't do it. It's not because they can't. They're women. They don't have they have a whole different approach, different set of values. Ideally, we need both. But if you lose the man, put the boys in the presence of men everywhere you can.